All right. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Listen, you know what time it is. It's 9 o'clock and it's time for the morning motivation evening edition. And I am your host, Dr. Dante, and we are here for the most powerful 30 minutes you will experience that you've experienced all day. Come on, sit up. Grab your book, grab your notepad, grab your highlighter, grab something to write with so you can write down these nuggets and these principles that are literally changing lives as we speak. I don't know about you, but it has it has changed me in some major areas. It has helped me to refocus in some areas. It has helped me reinstitute some disciplines that I needed to reinstitute. This has been adding major value to my life. I'm teaching it, I'm reading it, and then I'm watching it as well with everyone else. And I am being blessed. I don't know who's on there, but can you say, type in there, I'm being blessed, Pastor. I'm being blessed. I'm being blessed. Yes, it is growing me. It's putting me into the position where I can thrive. I'm no longer just surviving. Oh, shut up. I need somebody to grab that. I'm no longer surviving. I'm tired of being in survival. You better talk to me. I'm tired of being in survival mode. I'm tired of just having enough. I want to enter into the season of thriving. And I know in order to do that, I need to recognize that today matters. And why? Because yesterday ended last night. I'm thriving. We're in our winning season. We're thriving in this season. We're pressing forward in this season, all because we are taking our today serious. I can't live a life of rewinds and replays. I can't do that. I have to live a life of moving forward, focusing on my future, pressing my way to the mark of the high calling, which is in Christ. Somebody say, I'm pressing. Type in it, I'm pressing forward. I'm pressing forward. Listen, make sure you hit your like, tag, and share button this morning. We are talking from the book Today Matters by John C. Maxwell. Great book. It's been blessing us for these last 3 weeks, and we're going to continue on right now. Praise the Lord, somebody. We are on, I believe this is episode number 22. Wow, we just moving right along. We are not, listen, if it's not one thing you're going to learn from me, if this is the first time you hearing me or watching me, I'm telling you, I will get you on the path to be consistently consistent. In anything you put your hand to, you will be consistently consistent. Okay, here we go. I'm on page 78. I'm going to start where it says children are her priority. Anytime people reach the highest level in their profession, you can be sure that priorities have been very important to them. Yes, they are. Thank you, Jesus. That was certainly the case with Betsy Rogers, a teacher in Leeds, Alabama, who became the 2003 National Teacher of the Year. Rogers can't remember a time when she didn't want to be a teacher. It was in her blood and in her family. Her grandmother taught in rural Alabama beginning when she was only 16 years old. Both her grandmother's sisters followed her into the profession. And Rogers' mother taught Sunday school for 15 years. So when she went off to college, she naturally studied to become a teacher. We read that yesterday. And she made the statement, I wanted to change the world for them. Yeah. She had a passion in her heart for someone else beside herself. Good God. It took me several years to realize I cannot change the world in which my students live, but by understanding that school was the best place for some of my children, I became committed. Somebody say, I'm committed. Type in there, y'all, I'm committed. I need to help you find what you can commit your life to. And I pray after we finish this book that you have found a place where you can commit your life to. Good. I became committed to making my classroom a place where students feel safe, as well as creating an environment that provides joy to those with unfortunate lives. Rogers began teaching in 1974. Immediately after finishing her degree, she took 6 years off to take care of her sons until they were school age. But she knew that as soon as they were old enough, she would be back in the classroom, and being connected in the community where she would teach was a priority. So in the early 1980s, look at what she did. She and her husband bought an abandoned farm near her school. Look at this. Rogers says, when my husband and I moved our home from a more affluent neighborhood to Leeds 21 years ago, our purpose was to raise our children in an environment with a more diverse population with a rural background. Now, she had a plan. All of this, it's not saying that you got to do what these people are doing that he's describing. Look at the principles. She had a plan on how to become and how to raise her children, and then work her plan to perfect her profession. Let me help you. These are just principles. She's looking ahead. She's looking forward. She's looking for the best environment to raise her children. She's looking for the best environment that's going to help cultivate growth in her family. And I need somebody to understand that you have the plan. You are the one that's in control of executing the plan that God placed in you. It's up to you. Come on, somebody say it's up to me. I need you to type that in there right now. It's up to me. It's up to me to make the plan work. It's up to me to execute the plan. It's up to me to put the pieces in place. It's up to me. God is trying to use me to make sure the plan that he planted in me is executed by me, because I need to use it for him to make sure the kingdom is expanded through him. Come on. It's on me now. I need you to type that in there right now. It's on me. It's on me now. She made some decisions. Look at this. Many of my colleagues do not believe it is beneficial to live in a community where you teach. But I've found this relationship with Leeds community to be very rewarding and productive. By living and working in Leeds, I truly became a stakeholder, in the community. When you allow yourself to be a stakeholder wherever you are planted. Shout. I pastor this great church called New Kingdom Faith. And what you need to know, I became a stakeholder. I'm going to tell you, there are times where persons that may be leaders in the ministry, but they're not stakeholders. What do you mean by stakeholder? That means someone is invested, fully invested. Stakeholders are persons that that invest time, energy, finances, talents. They became a stakeholder. They have made the decision. This is where I'm planted. This is where I am. And this is where I want to grow. And I'm here to tell you, until you make this thing personal and you become a stakeholder in wherever you are planted or whatever vision or mission God has given you, you are going to be fleeing. You're going to be fickle. You're going to be acting funny. You're not going to do what you're called to do because you haven't placed a stake. When you place a stake somewhere, you are saying, listen, this is where this thing begins and where it ends. This is the boundary line I'm putting in place. And you need to find that area that you can place a stake in. I'm a stakeholder. Many of the members here have made themselves stakeholders. They said, I'm all in all the time, or all in is all we know. Stakeholders. Good. She became a stakeholder in the community. By making that community connection a priority, she had been better able to help her students. She reached out to the parents, her students over to our house, and attended many of their extracurricular activities. She infused herself in the lives of the people that she was connected to. Remember, he talked about investing in people. She invested her time in her students. She invested her finances in her students. I'm trying to help you understand, when you find what you're calling, you're going to have to invest in order for that thing to grow, in order for it to be successful. Somebody type in, I have to invest in what I'm called to. I have to invest in my ministry. I have to invest where God has planted me. I have to invest in my family. I'm investing in my job. By making sure I get there on time and I work at the best of my ability is your job. Your job is investing in you by paying you for what you have done. That's a form of investment. Are they, oh my God, I'm preaching. Are they getting a good return on the investment they are putting inside of you? Investment. She invested herself into this community, which allowed her to become the National Teacher of the Year, because she just didn't do what everybody, okay, my wife's a teacher and she does a lot. She could do just the bare minimum per their contract. They're not supposed to do a whole bunch of things. But if you want to be successful or have an impact wherever you are, you're going to have to go beyond what's expected of you. Yeah. Come on, I'm helping you today. I'm helping you tonight. I'm helping you tonight. Come on, grab hold of this. And we need to be models. We shouldn't lose sight of the fact that we have impact we may never see. So next week, she said, focused on improvement. I want you to type that in there right now. Focused on improvement. Because Rogers is focused, she is constantly improving and working to reach her potential in her profession. I'm constantly looking at ways to improve how I deliver messages. I'm constantly listening to other writers to help incorporate some of their techniques in my writing. I'm constantly listening to people to help manage my ministry or manage my gift to be able to help them become successful. I'm constantly focused on improvement so I can reach the potential of my profession. She believes that teachers must model a dedication to lifelong learning. I need you to type in there right now, I am a lifelong learner. When I went to college in my bachelor's degree, I remember them talking about you need to embrace being a lifelong learner. That means you'll never stop learning. That means you're going to always be in school. You may not be in a formal building or trying to achieve a formal degree, but you are always learning. You have always made yourself available to learn, to intake new knowledge that you had never heard before, and that you're not intimidated to get. Yeah, you may not know anything about what's being said, but what you have made the decision to do, is to become a lifelong learner. This is good. This is good. Look what she says. As she doesn't just give lip service to it. When both her sons were in college, she went back to school herself. She has since earned 3 graduate degrees in 1998, 2000, and 2002. As National Teacher of the Year, she would be expected to spend a year visiting schools and serving as an international spokeswoman for education. When she finished, she could use the recognition she had received as a springboard to a plum teaching job or a higher paying administrative position. But that's not what she's about. According to County Superintendent Bob Neighbors, Rogers has inquired about going back to work in a county school or academic alert because of poor test scores. After all, what's the use of improving herself if she can't use what she learned to help others? If your vision is to improve yourself to help other people, I'm here to almost guarantee you God gonna make it happen. Because he said you got to love your neighbor as yourself. And if you want to love yourself, you would love for someone to help you achieve what you want to achieve. I'm in that position now. I want to help as many as I can, as often as I can, so you can achieve the more that's in you, the more that's got to come out of you, the more that must be birthed out of you, the more that was planted on the inside of you. She said, it does me no good to learn all of this, to go through all these countries, cities, and be an ambassador, being a spokeswoman for a teacher of the year, and not bring back what I learned and apply it into the place that helped me get to where I am. Yeah. Come on, somebody say the more has to be birthed out of me. Type it in there. The more has to be birthed out of me. And I'm going to be preaching on that this Sunday. I'm going to be preaching on, why did this have to happen to me? Or why is this happening to me? My God, I'm telling you, please make sure you hear. If you're part of New Kingdom, and if you're not, you visit an area, make sure you get here. Why is this happening to me? Whew. Okay, so Neighbors called Rogers one of the most extraordinary natural forms, naturals, for whom teaching is not only her vocation, it is her joy, her daily discovery, and her application. Rogers sums it up this way: I was taught that we are here on this earth to serve. That's her priority, and she's living it out every day. We've been sent here to serve. Jesus declared, I did not come to be served, but to serve. Type it in there. I was born to serve. Type that in there right now in the chat. I was born to serve. I find joy in serving, teaching, loving people back to life. I find joy in that. Find your joy. Type in there right now. Type another piece in there. God, help me to discover my joy. Good word. Okay, so now we're on page 81. It's some applications that he wants you to do. I'm going to read through them. And you make sure you, if you go through the book, start applying them. Y'all, we are getting through this book fast. Priorities, applications, and exercises determine and acting on important priorities daily. Your priority decisions today. Where do you stand when it comes to priorities today? Ask yourself these 3 questions. Have I already made the decision to determine and act on important priorities today? Okay. I know you're doing this in the middle and towards the end of the day, so you might want to make sure you focus on this for tomorrow. If so, when did I make that decision? What exactly did I decide? You get to write it down. Your priorities discipline every day. Based on the decision you made concerning priorities, what is one discipline you must practice today and every day in order to be successful? It's one discipline that you got to practice today and every day to be successful. Making up for yesterday. If you need some help making the right decision concerning attitude and developing that everyday discipline to live it out, do the following exercise. I'm on page 82 now. How have you looked at the time in the past? Have you seen it as a precious commodity, or have you been lackadaisical about it? How has your approach to time shaped your life so far? Woo! Be honest. Do you see time as a precious commodity? Or is it just trivial? Or is it are you using? Are you actually operating lackadaisical with the time? Be honest. Then it says, take a day off from work to really reflect on these questions in this chapter. Ooh, God, that's good. Do you have the boldness? Do you have the faith to take a day off from work to reflect on these questions I'm going to ask you? Do you have it? I know if you needed to take off for anything else, you'll find it. Let's take off a day, and answer these questions. What is required of you? What gives you the highest return? And what gives you the greatest reward? Take a day, please, before the end of this year. Make a promise to yourself. Don't promise me. Promise yourself. I'm going to take a day and I'm going to really answer. I'm not going to be focused on no TV. I'm not going to be focused on trying to make no doctor's appointments. I need you to give yourself this day to answer those 3 questions. I need you to do that right now. It says, what is required of you? What gives you the highest return? What gives you the greatest reward? How will your assessment in these 3 areas prompt you to change your life? Lord have mercy. Practice a priority approach to going after a major goal that you currently have on your agenda using the following pattern. Look at what it says. Prioritize. Know what's important. Organize. Decide how it will get done. Plan. Decide when you will do it. Communicate. Share your priorities with your team. Execute. Follow through with your plan. Evaluate. Examine yourself and your results in light of your priorities. Good. This is good. This is really good. I dare you to start applying these principles. He put it in a nice worksheet format so you don't have to go back through the chapter. You can go right through this on page 82. Looking forward to tomorrow. Somebody say, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I can't wait for tomorrow to show up because I'm a better person. I'm stronger. I'm wiser. I'm doing things in a more consistent manner. I can't wait for tomorrow to show up. Woo! Spend some time reflecting on how your decision concerning priorities and the daily discipline that comes out of it will positively impact you in the future. What will be the compounding benefits? Write them down. Good. And then it says, keep what you're writing on a constant reminder, because reflection today motivates your discipline every day. I'm going to give you some time to write that down. I'm going to say it real slow, but I want you to write that down. Reflection today motivates your discipline every day. I'm going to say it one more time. Reflection today motivates your discipline every day. And discipline every day maximizes your decisions of yesterday. Woo-wee. Today matters. Look, y'all, we are moving through this book. Thank you, John Maxwell. We're on chapter number 5. We're on page 83. Today's health gives me strength. Okay. This is me. This is for me right here. I need to begin this chapter by making a confession. Usually when people pick up this book, especially a book that contains advice, they expect the author to be an expert in every area he writes about. That is not the case with me when it comes to health. I understand, John. Let's go. Let's do this together, y'all. Come on, let's do this together. For much of my life, I have dropped the ball in this area. It was really more a matter of neglect than anything else. Lord have mercy. I've always been as healthy as a horse. The only thing that regularly bothers me is seasonal allergies, and I just work around them. I will say this about myself. I've been relatively healthy most of my life. Colds, sometimes the flu may pop up. But I've been relatively healthy my entire life. But I kind of take that for granted because I haven't had to go to hospitals and tests and doctors and all these things. I just never had to do it. But I understand people, and I empathize with persons that may have to deal with that, with those health issues. But for me, what it did, it's making me, or is allowing me to take my health for granted. So let's look at what John is going to talk to us about. Okay. In fact, in 30 years of public speaking, first as a pastor, then as a conference seminar leader, I've never missed an engagement due to illness. I can say that myself. Not one. I just don't get sick. I've always had lots of energy. That's just me. Even when I had to burn the candle on both ends, I still had plenty of energy left over. Man, John Maxwell described me to a T. I have energy. I don't get sick. I can burn the candle at both ends, but I still got energy left over. I have lived a very fast-paced life. For about 10 years, I held down 2 demanding jobs. I led a church of more than 3,000 people with a staff of over 50 and a budget of $5 million a year. At the same time, I led a leadership development organization that required me to travel to speak to more than 100 days a year. When I gave up the pastorate to dedicate my time to my organization, I nearly doubled my travel. I almost built up a company, increased the number of employees from 18 to 175. Wow. Let me share. I know what that lifestyle looks like, and I'm feeling it, and I'm seeing it happen. And I know God is showing me and bringing me to this chapter about health because he wants me to start focusing on my health. Because yes, as I'm able to do those things, I know my body is not going to respond the way it used to. And I'm talking to somebody right here this evening. You need to know that your body needs to be appreciated. You need to focus on the health of your body. And I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to me too. Your body needs attention. And I'm not talking about to beautify it. I'm talking about to make sure it remains healthy, that you put everything in your body that's supposed to be in there. Any addictive habits that you know don't belong in your body, you need to stop right now. Your body deserves you giving it the best it's supposed to have. All the years it has done what it was supposed to do for you. It got you up. It walked you to work. It helped you to perform tasks. It helped you to see. It helped you to hear. It helped you to eat. It helped you to taste. It helped you to smell. And you just going to neglect it like that. And you wonder why your body is wearing down because you neglected something that has been trying to take care of you. I'm teaching it here today. Woo! We having a good session here tonight. My God, your body has been trying to take care of you, but you have not been trying to take care of it. You've been neglecting it. And I'm telling you, I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I'm one. Let's go, y'all. We great. Got a couple of minutes. So, maintaining a lifestyle at the pace meant that I rarely exercised, I didn't eat well, and I was overweight. I eat pretty good and I'm not overweight, but I didn't worry. Every year I took a physical and received an excellent report from my doctor. So I simply took my health for granted. See, I'm telling you, here we go. All that changed for me on December 18th, 1998. Everybody has that marker. Tiffany Riley preached it called a biomarker. Everybody has a marker, something in your life that changes everything. Mine's happened in 2016. I believe it was August or September 2016. Changed everything. Everything changed in my life on that day. That was the night of the annual Christmas party for my employees and their spouses. We had all enjoyed a nice dinner at the 755 Club at Atlanta's Turner Field where the Braves play. And many of us were enjoying music and doing some dancing. My God. And at the end of the party, I didn't feel well. Look at this. Look at this. One of my employees gave me a goodbye hug and felt cold sweat on my back and neck. Then suddenly I felt an excruciating pain in my chest that brought me to my knees. I never experienced anything like that. As I lay on the floor awaiting paramedics, it felt like an elephant was sitting on my chest. I was grateful that Margaret, our children, many of my closest friends were there with me at the party because I thought I wasn't going to make it. All right. I don't know what's sitting on your chest right now that makes you feel like you're not going to make it. It may be a situation that you're going through. That's why you're listening to this, because you need some encouragement. Something is sitting on you that makes you feel like you're not going to make it. But I'm here to tell you, God sent you here this evening to tell you you're going to make it. Somebody type in there, I'm going to make it. John Maxwell in this book, Today Matters, is giving me the strength, giving me the power, motivating me to declare I'm going to make it. Listen, this is your host, Dr. Dante, and we just finished another episode of Morning Motivation, declaring that today matters. Why? Because yesterday ended last night. Listen, don't forget, tomorrow we'll be here again at 9 p.m. and then also tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Listen, again, I'm your host, Dr. Dante. You have yourself a great day. It is time to sign off. Have a great evening. See you tomorrow.